Hello again, everyone. How's it going today? Happy Wednesday. We are here to build some more botanicals. And this is going to be the last Wednesday of botanicals for a while until I restock on botanicals. I think I've done most of them. But we have the Orchid, and we have the Plum Blossom, and that is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be starting with the Plum Blossom, of course. Let's go ahead and switch on over to the other camera. Go to this one here, move my camera. There we go. And let's get started. How is everyone doing today? It is very, very warm here. Hopefully you cannot hear my fans. Trying to reposition things so that I don't. Why is there no clock or timekeeping piece emotes on Twitch? I don't know. There probably are somewhere. Oh, I'm thinking of a different one than Lord Canis. Something similar. I don't know. It's been a while. Been a while since I've looked at nematode families. All right, so there's 2, 3, and 1. All right, so we get our 1. It's hot there. Is it hot there? Is it really hot there? Truly, truly hot. What is hot? Pray tell. Up there in the cold white north that does not get summer. Oh, for Alaska, so what is that? It's like 50 degrees or something, huh? Is that what it is? Something like 50 degrees? It's sort of freezing. Well, give me that. Whatever that is. Currently 61. 61! 61. I wish it were 61. I could then actually, like, wear pants and socks and stuff, and it would be comfortable. All right, let's see. The 4 Gentlemen. I like that artwork. Plum Blossom. The plum tree flower has long been a popular motif in traditional art. In a tradition that spans more than 1,000 years, it is often portrayed in ink and wash paintings amidst a classic quartet of beautiful plants known as the 4 Gentlemen, or the 4 Noble Ones. Together, they represent the virtues and continuous cycle of the 4 seasons. The plum tree, winter; the orchid, spring. Well, hey, how convenient. The bamboo, summer; and the chrysanthemum, autumn. Sprouting its vibrant crimson blossoms in the coldest months, the plum tree reminds us of our inner beauty and grace in times of adversity. That's not hot, Bahamut. It's not hot. Creativity of nature. Creating decor that draws inspiration from nature is a relaxing and rewarding way to set your imagination free. As you build your plum tree blossoms in this vase, you can play with symmetry and seemingly random variants and organic shapes developing in perfect balance. From buds to blossoms, you can study the stages of this magnificent, resilient flower. You can follow the building instructions to create the curated display, but you also have the creative freedom to rearrange the flowers to grow in new directions in the grid of branches. It's the nature of creativity, fueled by the creativity of nature. Theo Bonner, Lego model designer. I am most definitely not used to 100+ degree weather. It is currently 83 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is really hot, and it is by far not the hottest it gets around here. But that's also summer temperatures. All right. Let's go ahead and start building. Actually, I had a worm pop up within nomming distance of you. Surprised you didn't die. Oh, you're playing that new Doom game? Dune, not Doom. I think I said Doom. Meant Dune. I played a Dune game. I should play Dune 2 at some point, too. Would you like trikes with that? You and your summers. Hey, look, I would more than happy. I would be more than happy to give up these summers. If I lived in an area that had no summers, I would be extraordinarily ecstatic. Alda's just a complainer. It's too hot. There's not enough snow. Pickles exist. It's true. It's true. I do complain about things worth complaining about. It is true. I do complain about things that should not be. Things that should not be, like summer. Alright, there are 2x2 cylinder bricks. Let's go ahead and get on these. Curved macaroni pieces. There we go. Alright, and then the Unikitty horsetails. Daddy of the RTS genre. Yes. The modern RTS genre, we should say, because I did play an earlier RTS. I did play an earlier RTS on my YouTube channel. On the YouTubes. I don't know how many people actually consider it a... It is definitely not a modern RTS, we shall say. Alright, let's see. 4x4 cylinder brick, another 2x2. And then side studs. Alright, and then double stacks of blue 1x4 plates, and we want 2 of these. And those go on the blue sides. There we go. CK2, you have full control of the Hispania area, but you're staying under your liege for a while until things drift? Well, hopefully they won't try to take any of your stuff from you. Alright, some gold 1x2 slopes with cutouts and tile tops. Think your liege is scared of doing that? You're a powerful vassal? I mean, I've had powerful vassals before who were most definitely not. No, and I do get that. Making sure that you you have the power to say no can be quite important. Okay, more gold. There we go, and a 1x2 plate. This is kind of the brushed gold as well. There we go. And then get that there, that there, and that there. For a nice gold ring here. Alright, on the underside. There we go. Joined a faction to see how powerful you were. Took it from like 12% power to like 80 something percent with just you alone and the person who was leading the faction. I mean, it's pretty good, I guess. Alright, flip it over. Not that the AI is very good at it, but I do like being strategic about forcing some of my vassals to rebel at certain times so that I can weaken them when I know that I can defeat them. But the AI does not generally have that capability, that is for sure. This is Dragon Quest music, yes. It is indeed. Alright, there we go. Okay, so this goes on right there. Alright, we get this piece. I'm not sure what this originally was used for in Technic. But we get our friction pins in here first. "8L axle with stop." Howdy, little bunny. How's it going? Okay, get that in there. Slide that on there. Going weirdly. Is it a good weird at least? There we go. And then get that there. Alright, so there is our vase. Alright, spare parts. Brown 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud and a black friction pin. Messed up your sleeping big time? Well, it won't take too much to... Well, hopefully, I should say. It won't take too much to get that back in order. My sleep has been messed up for a very long time at this point. Despite trying to go to bed at about the same time every night. Oh, they're bad weirds. Oh, Bahamut, there are bad weirds. There are good weirds, and then there are lots and lots and lots of bad weirds. I mean, to be fair, there's lots and lots of good weirds, too. But sometimes you do need to specify what you mean. All right. Making a very interesting frame here. What about normal weirds? I think by definition there are no normal weirds. I do like this three-way connector piece. It's pretty cool. Sleep is for those who want to avoid psychotic episodes. And who really wants to do that? Who cares? Come on. Come on. Where's the fun in that? That's true, Min-and-like, but there are also some weirds that if someone's like, that's not weird, you've just outed yourself as weird. And probably not in the good way. Probably not in a good way. Alright. So we're going to do 2 of these. There are also some things that, if you're like, that's weird, you've just outed yourself as the weird one. Oh, I did that once, Lel Bunny, where I woke up and I was like, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my god, I slept till 3 p.m. Oh no, it's 3 a.m. Alright, so that goes in there, and this goes in there. This is an interesting little framework thing. Very curious what you could do, like, within system-wise with this kind of shape. Like, connecting these into various things. Like, be interesting to see where those would fit in to lock in something. Might out yourself as weird by admitting that your personal definition of normal comes from a geometry book. So weird. I mean, I'm just kidding. No, I've got a lot of good weird viewers. I really do, and they're the most definitely the best kinds of good weird. There we go. I get the elephant trunk piece on there. And then down here. There we go. Alright, 10 dark gray friction half pins. And these are going into all of the pinholes. Weirdness is kind of like a spectrum, like a scale of, that's mildly interesting, to, okay, either reality or my brain has been thoroughly destroyed. Well, so here's the thing, though, is like, there's good weird and there's bad weird, and sure, there are some people who are going to disagree on which falls into which category, but, like, you kind of have to have them separated unless you're horseshoeing, which I suppose might be a thing, but there's that middle section where it's not weird. Unless you feel it's weird simply by being in that center not weird area, but all right, we got three 2L axles and 1x1 cones. Now, the fact that they've never redone the cones are wider at the top, but there is this little tiny gap here. And I'm kind of surprised that they've never tried to redo them. It might just make them too fragile at the top, though. Well, I think what makes it hard to define is that when you're weird, then to a certain extent, your weirdness is normal, for one thing. And of course, people who are bad weird most certainly do not think that they are bad weird. Alright. Slide that on there. So there we go. It's a little wobbly, but that's okay. Alright, so 4 of our 6 stem plant pieces here, and just 2 flowers on each one. Reality is that which refuses to go away when you stop believing in it. Yes, there is that. Sadly, with things like AI, it makes it all the easier to ignore what that is. Okay, so first one goes over here. Second one goes over here. Third one. And a fourth one. There we go. Alright, 6L bar with stop. Dark brown lightsaber hilt. This is just a brown 6L bar with stop. Like, reading about some of the people who know, like, family members especially, who've become convinced that, like, ChatGPT has some secrets of the universe or something like that. It's like, ooh, oof, oof, big time. Big time oof. Come back here. Alright, then that goes into the bottom there. There we go. Alright. So this one is down here at the bottom. And this one's a little bit up, not quite halfway. There we go. Right there in the camera. Right there in the camera. Let's turn that around a little bit so it's not quite in the camera. All right, so these are the new peach pieces. We got some of these with the what was it? The family reunion dinner set, the Chinese traditional. Also frequently used in the Animal Crossing sets. Nope, no pink frogs. No pink frogs. There we go. There's one. Sends a billion bacon elementals after all. Wow. It's a lot of bacon. Okay, so we want this one on here. This one here. And skip that one and go to this one. There we go. I do not have enough pink frogs. I need all the frogs. All of the frogs. Alright, so we're going to do 3 of these. Dark pink 2x2 cylinder tiles with center studs. I might want to eat a billion bacon elementals, but considering that there is no elemental plane of bacon, it is obvious that that is just an illusion. Just an illusion. I'll be like the main character in Dungeon Master and reject your reality and substitute my own. Alright, so red boat studs there. Then we get these blade elements. No elemental plane of bacon that I know of. Could be real, you want to believe? Okay, Mulder. Okay. Making some sort of weird propeller thing here. Okay. Now for the last one. There we go. Alright, so are we turning all of them or just these? Probably just these. It looks like just those. Or no, these as well. Alright. Maybe not all the way in. Alright, dark red angle connector back there. You want bacon cheese fries again? Well, you just gotta go get them. Alright, there we go. And then the bright yellow crown element piece there. I haven't missed a... Oh, no, I did. There is a 1x1 flower there. There we go. I was like, I feel like I should have used these by now. And indeed, I should have. Yes, indeed, I should have. Alright. There we go. And get that connector on the back. There we go. Why on Friday when you go pick up the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set at the hobby shop you visit? Well, I hope you get good cards. And by good cards, I mean all the ones that I like, regardless of whether they're useful to you. Ah, Jesus. Get in there. There we go. Okay. Let's make sure that... Nope, that one is definitely not all the way in. That one all the way in? It is not. Yeah, there's not many good places to get a grip on that. Okay, so we got our 3 of those. Where do they go? Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So there's those blossoms. I don't actually know what plum blossoms look like, and don't think we have any plum trees around here. Cherry trees, yes. Although I thought the one across the street was a plum tree. I don't know. Anyway, we have a spare bright yellow crown element, magenta 1x1 plate flower, dark gray friction half pin, dark brown lightsaber handle, and a dark red angle connector with stud. There is a crabapple tree up the street. And the deer love that, although I think they may have taken that out. Nope. Nope, it's still there. Do the apples taste like crab? Yes, it's Maryland. Of course they do. They are almost certainly not tasty. Although the deer seem to like them. Better for hard cider. I don't think they're... I don't think those particular ones are very good for anything. I mean, there might be crab apples that are good for cider, but I don't think those are. Certainly the people whose yard that's in don't do anything with them. Learned a while ago from Detective Conan that yellow cherry blossom trees exist. Doesn't surprise me. There's lots of varieties of shades for lots of flowers, so. And trees are just giant flowers. Crab apples taste nasty. They stain your clothes and they hurt like rocks when chucked at you. Blue flavored cherries, huh? Yeah, there we go. I mean, I will say that the cherry or plum tree, or whatever it is across the street, is very pretty when it's fully in bloom. and all the petals are on the tree. The second all the petals come down, it's not a pretty sight anymore. It's like... It's like... Oh, it's kind of gross, actually. Alright, there we go. Elephant tusk on there. 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. They threw apples at you? That's crappy. I said crappy, not crabby. Just to be clear, I was not intentionally or unintentionally making a pun. That's really bad. Once you know it hurts, like, I mean, obviously if you don't realize it's gonna hurt, there can be a learning aspect to that. There we go. Alright, get another peach here, and where is... There's a connector. Some fruit doesn't hurt. Like, there's a reason why tomatoes are one of those things that are portrayed as being thrown at people. Because they don't hurt. I suppose maybe if they're under underripe or something. Alright, so we get a second branch back there. Alright, so we do 2 of these. With these are, I think these are sonic rings. Go ahead and put a brown carrot top straight through there. Get a... this is called a D-snot by the community because it's D-shaped here and has a stud not on top. Always forgetting tomatoes are fruit. Anything can hurt if you throw it hard enough, or if it is hard enough. Like, I mean, if you freeze the tomato first, yeah, it's gonna hurt, and that would be bad. And if you're initiating something, don't throw something that is gonna hurt. It's not nice. Okay, so get 1x1 plates with clips. That's 5. There we go. All right. So that's the first part. Oops. Come back here. So we are getting the I mean, there's a lot of these brown ones, but we are definitely using the magenta flower plates. Howdy, Sealan, how's it going? Also remember that bananas are a berry, indeed. That's why they grow in bunches. There we go. All right. Okay, that's the first one. Coffee is a type of cherry. Okay, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Alright, so we need to get 5 of these on here. Okay, turn those up a bit. There we go. Get the eggshell and get the crown. There we go. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So we'll start with the 3, and then we get the other 2 on. Try to even them out. There we go. Right, get the eggshell and then the crown part. There we go. So we've got those 2 flowers. And these go on here and down here. There we go. Very pretty. Oh, that explains it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. So these go into the top of the vase. This is more of a pot than a vase. You do not want to have one of these around with a cat, because they will knock this down, and then all of these pieces will go flying everywhere. There we go. So we got a little bit of soil in there. All right, and we have our plum blossoms. They're very pretty. I don't know how accurate they are because I've never actually seen this type of plum blossom. And we have 1 spare brown carrot top. That is our extra piece. Okay, we put that aside. And I think we're going to have more to do of that kind in here in this orchid. Okay. This is one of the older botanical sets. So I'm guessing that's why we've got black axles rather than green axles. There's a 3. There is a 4. A 2. And the 1. There is our instruction booklet. This might actually go faster than I expected. I do have another small one I could go get. We'll see how it goes. All right. First up, prized for centuries, forever in bloom. Theophrastus, a student of Aristotle, loved them. Confucius, the great philosopher, wrote poems for them. For centuries, orchids have found their way into the hearts of many, and today they find their way into yours. While other orchids require the highest levels of attention, the Lego orchid will thrive even in low light, does not require extreme humidity, and is probably the easiest to get to bloom again and again. You know, unless a cat chews it all. You've thought about buying this one? Well, hopefully this stream will convince you one way or the other. Now how you doing, Crimson? Okay, so we got 4 of these. Getting a funny image in your head of someone arranging flowers to this tense boss music. Hey, flower arrangement can be a real boss. There is a brick separator again. Join the pile. The ever-growing mountain of them. I've had a pretty good day. I may have eaten too much. But that's okay. The 3 models cannot be built simultaneously. Understandable. Flowers just the way you like it. Featuring 6 full blossoms and 2 smaller buds, you can trim stems to different lengths, rotate roots and leaves to keep them healthy, and get new arrangements simply by moving blossoms around any way you like. From the design team. Mike has been designing LEGO products for well over 9 years now. Creating the geometry of the pot was one of his favorite challenges in this model. Designing orchids that sit in a sand blue fluted pot that are not only fun to build but also beautiful to look at was an exciting challenge for me. While real orchids were brought in to inspire me, I must admit that the LEGO orchid is far easier to care for and is certainly a lot more enjoyable to be around. You sure a dog or bird or ferret or whatever could make short work of this plant too? Well, sure, but cats are more common and also probably more likely to just like knock something off a table. Grow your collection of LEGO botanical models. Flower bouquet, bonsai tree, succulents. The succulents are nice. The bonsai tree is great, and there is a new Japanese maple bonsai that I may get. Your grandparents had a greenhouse and raised award-winning orchids? Wow, cool. Okay, there we go. Alright, so start this off with one of the 8x8 cylinder plates. Get the 4x4 with a recess. And green and then orange 2x2 cylinder plates inside. And we are putting this in at an angle of some sort. Doesn't make it very clear what exactly the angle is, so I'm going to go with that. 2 clicks. So orange 1x2 Technic bricks and lime green double friction pins with axle connectors. What makes an orchid award-winning? I think it's usually like the you know, like the color and quality of its bloom and stuff like that. Howdy, Valjerai, how's it going? Flower arranging can be as stressful as flowers can be used to signify things depending on what flowers you use. Yes. And also, like, I mean, it's a skill, and you want it to look nice. Me personally, I have absolutely no skill in that area whatsoever. Overall health? It's more than the overall health of the the flower. I mean, they obviously have to be healthy in order to get to the point of being award-winning, but... Ah, I see exactly how they are doing this. Okay. Alright, next up, another 8x8 with a 4x4 turntable base. 4x4 turntable there. Let's go ahead and snooze that for now. You've always wanted orchids but can barely keep bamboo alive? Yeah, orchids are very much one of those, like, extremely difficult to raise plants. Like, famous for it. There might be some hardier ones out there, I don't know. Could be worth looking into. And then yellow 1x1s here. We had a neighbor with a lot of bamboo in their yard, but they cut most of it back, and it disappointed me because I liked it. It was really tall. I like bamboo. My father had a plant that he affectionately called the ugly plant. He joked that no matter what he did, he couldn't kill it. Bamboo, the best species of grass. Alright. So this is showing that it's on there with the same angle. Which feels a little bit weird. Maybe they're going to turn it later. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Another one. I don't know why we're using these rather than 4x4s. Oh, no, I know why. So we got the 4x4s here because these 4x4s have they have round holes like this. The 4x4s have round holes. So did these 4x4s with the recessed, but the 2x2s do not. So we're going to get an axle through the center of these. It's corn grass. They never did answer that question in that short. See, wheat gets me bread, and I do love bread, so I gotta go with wheat. It was to inspire you to find your own answer, except there's an answer. There's an answer to that. There's no answer to find because there's an answer to that. The answer is yes. The core of this pod is a modified version of the core used in the large tower in the Hogwarts castle set. Professor Sprout would be tickled with this. Alright, and white macaroni. There we go. Alright. So, another 4x4, but this time we don't do a centerpiece. Wonder what all these ship wheels are for? It's a good question. Just have to keep on tuned in to find out. We do have an ad break coming up shortly. Okay, now for the angles. Miriam Margoyles. She's actually a Margoyle? Oh my god. How did no one notice? Alright, then black 4x4 macaroni tiles. There we go. And we stack that on the top as well. Alright. Now, it would be nice if they said how many clicks. I'm assuming 2. Nope. Three. Okay, there we go. Alright. 7L bar here. And a 7L bar here. It can wiggle a little bit. Oh, so I was wondering why they were putting this with the ridge sticking out. Because that won't hold it, like once you put it in, it won't hold it from coming out this way. It's so that when you put it in this way, it doesn't push it back. That's why. Okay, and then we do all of the gray and yellow ones. Why am I getting a text message this late? That's why. Okay. It's not important. Annoying and not important. Okay. So there we go. Nice little spiked wheel. Actually rolls pretty well. It's actually kind of neat. Also loving Lufia 2 monsters. They are adorable or funny named. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're great. I love the... I really do love how botched some of the translations are. Like, how did they botch them so badly? La Fleshia, exactly. La Fleshia is the best. I would say Mad Gorum is the second. Why are you mad, bro? Because that's not my name. Oh. Bad translations be like that, yeah. Well, they can. Sometimes they're just bad. Love that game, fond memories. Alright, ads are starting in just a moment. Stole your joke about Gorum? Well, I'm going to do that. At least the wyverns only have 2 legs. That got that part right? Yeah, yeah. And it's, like, less ridiculous than the Final Fantasy III Y-burn. There we go. Alright. There we go. And that is why we had 2x2 cylinder plates in there. I love how this rolls. So much fun. Whee! Whee! Alright, spare part. One black friction pin. Okay, bag number 2. Look at all the sand blue. Look at all the sand blue. Okay, first up is 32 friction half pins in red. But yeah, the best mistranslations for monster names are the ones that take you a moment. It's like, wait, what? What? Oh, those are my favorite. There's some that are just weird, and that's why La Fleshia is so good. Because it's also one of those that I think most people would not get. Like, how many people have Rafflesia in their personal lexicon? Besides Gundam fans. And, you know, plant fans. Trying to remember, there's been a couple that have just been like, that feels like it has to be a mistranslation, but I don't know what it's supposed to be. Can't remember what they are right now, though. Alright, almost done with the friction half pins. There we go. And finally, 31, 32. Alright, now we take these 2x2 plates with pins on the bottom. Get those in there. I'm going to make sure that these are not turned too much. Like, you can get them to dance a little bit. Howdy, Cloak, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. All things considered. Some of the local botany students at SUNY probably know it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I would expect even casual botany fans to know it. It is a pretty famous type of flower. But still, just having that in their lexicon. Neck ache, but managing. Well, I hope it feels better. We got something on it or something like that, if that's possible. I don't know what the proper treatment is, but I hope you're doing whatever treatment will make it feel better. We'll go with that. Actually, I had a fun discovery the other day. That's turned a little bit too much. There we go. Really kind of gross, actually. I think my niece staying here may have let the rabbit poop get a little bit infested with something, and that went into the garbage. It was gross. Okay, start out with 2 of these. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so there's that, and then we do 30 more. Just, casual 30. Reposition myself in my chair a little bit. There shouldn't be any more than what we have here, so there is that. Get the 1x2 peak slopes down with the others. It's interesting that they had a bag with half the number. Like, one bag has half the number and another bag has the other half. I would expect them to do something like that if it was like, there's going to be 32. So if they had one bag with 6, like they had 2 bags of that were the exact same with 16 of them in it. But they didn't do that. So I don't know why they split them up. It's interesting. Alright, almost done. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got those. that on there. And we start going around the outside for the... Again, I guess this is more of a pot than a vase. But you do have to be careful with the contents of these vases when they're so easily disturbed and knocked over. At least it's not used to make pottage. Is it a potable? I know I mispronounced that. I did that on purpose. A potent potable? Oh, speaking of the soil that goes into pots and stuff, my mother has a compost bin outside of her house, like a big one, and she just puts in, like, you know, leaf litter, grass cuttings, bits of food waste that are not gross, like, you know, when you get a head of lettuce and there's some bad spots, you can cut that off, and of course the core when you're done, all that goes in there and stuff like that. You know, tops of carrots and strawberries, orange peels, that kind of thing. And she recently moved it. Like, pulled the plastic sides off and moved it, so there's like this giant cube of dirt. I joked to one of my nieces that my mother was trying to do Minecraft in real life. Howdy, Minor Trader. How's it going? Would pea porridge go in there? Probably not, because of whatever makes it porridge. But old peas, bad peas, they would. You want things that insects will go for. You don't want things that raccoons will go for. Hoping to get better at various card games. Well, good luck with that. Okay, so a nice corrugated pot here. Doesn't roll quite as well, but it still does roll. This would actually probably be a decent, like, for rolling over rough terrain and stuff. Like, it would probably give pretty good traction. But yeah, so, like, it did remind me of a picture I saw, and a good example of how, like, ancient cities all eventually develop into hills. Like, cities that have been settled for a really long time basically always develop into hills. And I was always kind of, like, wondering exactly how that works. And that's how. The stuff just, you know, turns into dirt. There was a picture I saw of an entrance to, like, a medieval church, and specifically talking about how at some point along the way they started raking the leaves, but before that, you know, the leaves just fall and they disintegrate and they turn into dirt, and it raised up, like, the walk into the church is now, like, has these really high dirt sections around it because it just builds up over time. Alright, bag number 3. Scarbray Midden Heap in middle of settlement, almost as high as the buildings? Yeah. Eventually, at least. You know, buildings get torn down and or collapse during earthquakes or things like that, so when they get rebuilt... Oh, also, with the last bag, 1 spare red friction half pin. So when they build new buildings, it's on, like, it's at the level of the new ground, and you just do that over time. Every few hundred years, you get another, like, foot on there or something like that. And it adds up. It really adds up. But yeah, like it was a good like 2 feet to either side of the paved pathway into this church, and it looks kind of claustrophobic, and it's just because the you know, leaf litter just builds up over time and disintegrates down into dirt. And it builds up. So you can see that with like let's see, I think I have a picture. Hold on. Like, see, it's just this cube of dirt. But I mean, like that didn't start out as dirt. It started out as grass clippings and stuff like that. They decided to raise streets a level like in Edinburgh. Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, when they decide to do paving, they rather than, like, tear up the old streets, they'll just pave over the old stuff. Crescent's bringing us a raid. How's it going? I saw that you were starting Bravely Default. Let me get you a shout out there. It's a bad time to start a new game. What? Just because you're going to Japan soon? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But do give Crescens a follow. Check out his streams. He is a good friend of mine. The remaster does look really good. Well, that's excellent. I have yet to play any of the Bravely Default. To be honest, the combat kind of looks like something I wouldn't enjoy, to be honest. Like, I like the character art and stuff like that, and the story sounds good. Never finished the original, couldn't break the game the way it actually intended. Crescents has seen Ald's real face, yes. Plastic scales and all. Alright, let's go ahead and get those on there. You looking forward to your trip? Combat is all about actually abusing the job system. See, like, I'm not too bad at abusing systems, but it seems more than that. I don't know. It's been a while since I looked into it, but all right, that goes on right there, and these actually seem to be angled. Alt is disembodied hands. Yes. Well, I mean, when you're a dragon, you have to create magical disembodied hands to build Lego. I mean, it's just what you have to do. Like, you try building with claws like these, you know? It's harder than it may look. There you go. System stopped downloading Mario Kart while you were playing? Yeah, it does do that. It does do that. Is that the new Mario Kart, or is that the, what is it, 8? The one that was on, that's been on Switch? Bribe them to make titanium Lego. Lego are too fragile for Dragon Claws to handle? No, it's not that. It's all about articulation. The new one, this is Switch 2. Well, I wasn't sure if they were coming out with a new one. I don't pay that much attention these days. Especially when it's something that I'm not likely to get anytime soon, like the Switch 2. That is actually going that way, and this one is going that way. Not for anything against the Switch 2. I tend to wait in general. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. It's, I don't know what I would play on it right away that I can't, like, that I can't play on something else that I already have. It was a bad buy for you. Well, like, if you enjoy it, it's not a bad buy. I stand by that point of view. Like, if I super duper wanted to play the new Mario Kart, then absolutely it would be worth it for me. For example. I hate doing this. Getting these two things to go at, like, the same rate. Like, I don't mind doing this if we're talking about like 8s, like pushing down on this, but there is so much wiggle room that I am worried about that. Something happening to that. All right, we gotta inch it then. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. Okay, there we go. Oh my lord, alright. Okay, so this goes in here. There we go. There we go. All right. Get that on there. Next up, 2L cross axle half beams. One there. And one there. Okay, so we get a pair of olive green dino tails. And I call them dino tails for a reason. Where are you? There you are. See? Dino tails. It's the exact same pieces. They actually do not make this one anymore, though. Which I kind of get, because it's like technically 3 pieces, so it needs to be assembled and everything like that. They do have like a replacement, semi-replacement, I should say. It's not a full replacement. It doesn't do quite everything that one does. Dino Tales, any relation to the kids' show Dragon Tales? You know. Alright, get that on, and this is going to go here. So we got tentacles coming out. As you do. The Orchid's air roots are made from dinosaur tail elements. Rawr! I just said that. Just look at this instruction booklet, just straight up copying off of me. Can you believe that? It's totally plagiarizing. All right, so we got this plant element with the curved end, bright green 3L bar. 1x1 cylinder brick. Are we making 2 of these? No, we are not. Just 1. 1x1 cylinder plate. Get the angle connector. Nor is Dino Tails related to Veggie Tails, in case you were going to ask that next. Alright, this one goes that way. Oh, Kinshir, thank you very much for those 500 bits. I really appreciate that. That will definitely help in my quest for new hardware. You're going to ask if that plant was becoming a Malboro from Final Fantasy. No. And Xeno Hyla Truncata, 3,000 bits. Thank you very much for that generosity. And that means that we got a hype train going. Alright, so there. Get that on there. Okay. Friction half pin here and here. Dark gray. And 1x1 cylinder tiles right on top of that. So that will definitely help in my new hardware quest. Okay, get that on there. It's probably very blurry there, you know. Let's turn it at an angle so you can see where that's connecting in. Okay, next up. Doing something similar. Another 3L bar. And the dark green plant element, 1x1 cylinder brick, 1x1 cylinder tile with hollow stud. Get the friction half pin in. And here we have a pink spiral ice cream element. So we do have a hype train going. I do appreciate that. You had to look up how to spell Marlboro because you couldn't remember the spelling. Let me guess, you were going to spell it Marlboro? Oops, you don't put that in yet. If at all. Gift subs are on sale. That would get us, could spell it Marlbol. Marlbol. Was that in one of them? I don't remember that one. Marble is in 14. Is that an intentional thing? I would not expect 14 to make a mistake. You don't even know what you're trying to spell? That's fair. That's fair. It's not a mistake. It's a Romanization. Well, you know what I mean. They have pretty consistently been Marlboro. Sadly, won't be able to support me in the future because your financial situation changed, but you still had left some bits. Well, I appreciate the support right now, even if you can't later, and I totally understand situations changing. Hopefully things will look up for you. Not just for my sake, I mean, for your sake. The Orchid stems are built from LEGO Technic elements, making your Orchid fully customizable to bloom all year round. And this is going in down here. Crimson Clover gifting out 5 subs. Aw, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. In FF11, you think they were also called Morbol? Weird. I don't get it. Ah, Yagra was lurking. Brought Yagra out. How's it going, Yagra? Alright, so we have that turned up there. We get another one of these on here. Hanging in there, like the kitty. There we go. Another one here. Still recovering physically from Monday's power outage, disrupted sleep and such? Ooh. Yeah, made it hard to sleep because it was too warm kind of thing? Yuck. I know that feeling. I've definitely been there. And on Hummeron, 2,000 bits for the Lego hype. Aw, thank you guys. Can you ask for a semantic adjustment to your name pronunciation? Absolutely, if that's what you mean. I'm always, anytime I mispronounce a name or anything like that, definitely do tell me. Ayugra? Okay. I'll try to remember that. Feel free to say something if I fall back. Ayugra? Ayugra? Okay. Ayugra. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, as always, anyone, like, same thing with, like, preferences on if you've got a long, you know, people with long names can ask me to use a different part of it or something like that. Oh, of course. Obviously, like, I always want people to be called by what they want to be called by. Like, that's just respect. My father, like, and part of that is because, like, my father had a name on his birth certificate, but the name that he was known by to everyone, you could tell, like, when he'd get mail, you could tell whether they were going by, like, official records kind of thing, or whether they were actually knew him, because he had a nickname that was, for all intents and purposes, his real name. So we got that going on there. Okay, get that on here. And then a connector. Friction half pin. Out of the Lego sets I've done, what's my favorite? Oh, that's... Well, no, actually that's not hard to say. Of the ones I've done on stream, I assume you're asking. That would be the Lion Knight's Castle. The Lion Knight's Castle is probably, you know, setting aside favorite, you know, nostalgia favoritism. It's an orcish tongue in your lore building. Aya means father, Gra means strength. Say father's strength. Oh, okay. But yeah, of the sets that I've built on stream, and like setting aside nostalgia, like nostalgia favoritism, I would definitely say that the Lion Knight's Castle is the best Lego set they've made. Your dad was a junior, but his father had been dead for decades before you saw any mail referring to him like that. My father was also a junior, and was not, like, just no one referred to him that way by his given name. No one who knew him, I should say. Of course, that means I could have been a third. Alright, this one goes in there. There we go. Right in there. Howdy, Shield of Hope. Okay, and I think this is going to be the last of these little viney parts. To be fair, my grandfather was also not really known by his main name either, although that more so. Like, he had a nickname, but it wasn't quite his real name. And what is going on with that one? Is that a hairbrush? They ate. Okay, I do not get that one. You know the set someone turned it into the Demogorgon? Oh yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. I have a fun thing that'll probably be mentioned in the instruction booklet. Knowing them. There we go. Get that on there. Oops. Wait, nope. There was one more. I thought there was not. There we go. And 2 friction half pins. 1x1 cylinder tiles. And this goes on right there. There we go. It is very tentacly. It is very tentacly. All right, 3 1x1 cylinder plates with bars and 1x1 dark green tiles. Yeah, my grandfather, his nickname was Spud. Not quite as wasn't quite as much of his main name, his normal name as my father's, but my father's was better. I don't know that my father would have gone by Spud if that had been his nickname. There we go. Get that on there. Okay. Alright, next up, we are going to do a pair of leaves. There we go. Get that on the end. And a 2x2 tile to lock that in. There we go. Another 2x2 tile. And that on the end. Okay, and that will fit on there. There we go. And this one on there. It's got some nice big leaves, broad leaves. Interesting note on the instructions. There is a line right down here on the part of the instructions, and I do wonder, because there are pieces that are separated, and I wonder if that's how they constructed the digital model that they're using here. Of just like take the half and put them together, and then just like edit out other parts, but that left in that line. There we go. And that one is going to go right there. A bowl of Oreo cookies. I've never heard of them being served in a bowl before. Alright, click hinge, one with 1x2, 1x2 with 2 clips. We get this dark green canopy element. And then another 1x2 with clips. And obviously we're going to get a second one there. And that goes there. So we have a little layered leaf, smaller leaves there. You have Oreo cereal, so a bowl of Oreos. That's fair. I was thinking about mentioning that. All right. So spare parts. Oreo, yes, Oreo breakfast soup. So a bowl of Oreos is breakfast soup. All right. So dark gray friction half pin, bright green 3L bar. Bright green, dark green 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, dark green 1x1 cylinder tile, and dark green 1x1 tile, black 1x1 cylinder tile with bar, and a pink swirled ice cream element. Yes, Minor Trader, a breakfast soup. Like cornflakes. It does body good. Everyone likes breakfast soup. Poor Bahamut. Poor Bahamut, not believing in breakfast soup. So here is this piece. It's a hat essentially. Let's get a minifig here. So it fits over a minifig head, and this is basically the Demogorgons from Stranger Things, but they just naturally work for the 5-petal tiny orchid blooms. And we get a couple of them. You do declare, huh? You do declare. I do declare. Unfortunately, Bahamut, you're wrong. Wow, a bag just of white shields. Neat. The plant zombie army is ready to march. And they have shields. Unfortunately, all they can wield is forks when attacking. Or frogs. Demogorgon heads from the LEGO Stranger Things set were used to make the small blossoms in this set. Yeah, see, they copied off of me. It's rude. Alright, so we got the 2 hats. The 2 heads. And friction pins. Friction half pins, I should say. You're never wrong, huh? Never wrong. Okay, so, first of all... Where is this? This is down there. There we go. So we got that one on there. And then the other one goes on over here. Keep bumping the camera. Nope, never wrong, huh? I don't know about that. Alright, so we make 6 of the following. So we need dark pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are... I don't know exactly what these are, but they're essentially cogs. They do this, and they'll turn this way. That said, I don't know when the last time I saw these actually used to turn anything in LEGO Technic. Mind you, I don't exactly buy a whole lot of LEGO Technic these days, so what do I know? stack up these white pauldrons. Let them fall over. There we go. All right. Well, breakfast soup is a glorious, glorious thing. Especially when it is sugary and delicious. Ah, ice-cold water. Alright, so we got 3L axles and tan with studs on the end. Get those through there. Then we take 2 of the shoulder pauldron elements. Get these on here. I think we've had some of these in red for roses. They do make decent petals. There we go. Alright. So that's all 6 of those. The orchid petals are built with shoulder pad elements from large Lego characters. Alright, so get a white half bushing, which I don't know if I have any half bushings. And then we get a 4x4 octagonal bar plate. Extremely big petals. Oh, there are bigger petals. There are bigger petals. I wonder if they'll make a Lego Rafflesia. That would be awesome. I'm talking about the mobile armor, though. Had to poof a bit, feeding animals, replacing bits of fence. Nothing serious with the fencing, just needed to get some better sized pieces to replace older bits and ends. Gotta protect the aminals. Rafflesia, the best rage for Gao? You mean after Cat Scratch? Ended up with a sliver that got stuck in your finger. Ooh, hate that. Hate that. Yuck. I'm sorry, man. Alright, next up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go. Get these 6. Get friction pins. Let's see. These are going down that way. Rafflesia's rage effects could work on any monster, if you recall, as nothing had immunity to it, not even bosses. Not many things have immunity to Cat Scratch, though. I mean, sure, some things do, but most things don't. Alright, there we go. There's that. Next up. Alright, so... I was not expecting the fork to be used there. Alright, so we are making lots and lots and lots of shield petals. by putting the forks through, and then the bars with clips. I think I have white forks already, but imagine Kefka defeating himself because of Rafflesia. They probably fixed that at some point, though. I mean, Gao is really broken in general. Like, if you know the game well, it's kind of hard to argue that Gao is not very, very broken as a character. Very overpowered. Alright, there's one, there's two, and there is three. We got our petals on there. Let's actually see if we can push those down a little bit. There we go. He's the strongest character if used properly. Yep. All right, that's one. That is two. And this is three. Okay. So petal 1, petal 2, and petal 3. To the metal. Alright, so there's that. We just need to do the centerpieces for those two. Get our forks. We do have an ad starting shortly. It's the reason that they nerfed him even further from FF6 SNES. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, that was a bug, and I would actually kind of say that bosses not being immune to something like Rafflesia is probably also should be considered a bug. I find it hard to believe that that would be intentional. There we go. All right. Get you on here. Get you on here. And you on here. There we go. All right, that's 3 down. 3 more forks, 3 more clips, 3 more shields. Right, well that's a bug. Like, in that if something is acting unintentionally, then that's a bug. Even if it's not like a program coding error, like in Final Fantasy I, where none of the weapons have their elemental powers. and the accuracy of weapons was incorrect as well. Like those are program bugs. Oh, I grabbed an extra one of those. But if you have an unintended interaction that you don't plan for, that is also a bug. Those are just bugs. Oops. Okay, get that pedal on there. That one on there. And that one on there. There we go. Okay, 3 clips, 3 forks, and 3 shields. Okay, the ads are about to start. Right, but that's the same kind of thing. It's just, whoops, we didn't intend for that to work that way. Have I done programming as a career? Not as a career. I did, early in my life, shall we say, when I started going to college, I thought that I would do that as my career, and I realized I didn't like it, so I didn't. But yeah, so, like, I mean, I learned some, you know, Visual Basic, Pascal, C, C++, that kind of thing. But it really just was not my thing. Alright, final 3 shields, final 3 clips, and final 3 forks. They had computers when you were young? Yes, they did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, dinosaurs were very advanced, not a rogue AI. They really were. Don't even get me started on how amazing the trilobites were. Okay, there is the final of the shields. There we go. Get that on there. Get that one there. And that one there. Okay. Alright, so we got all of the pedals on. Now, let's go for these parts. We got pink teeth elements. And we need black pneumatic tees. And for good measure, we will get the froggies as well. The magenta froggies. There we go. Okay, so we got that. Line those up. These are going into the bottom one of those, and froggy goes on top. There we go. So that's one done. There is the first part of that. I don't know what this part is actually called of the flower. other than the part composed of tooth elements. Get the frog on. There we go. Oh yeah, I grabbed one too many of those. Okay, there we go. Another frog. Well, there are ways to avoid that. Okay, there we go. I mean, I'd rather not have to do it myself, either. Like... But not a whole lot that I could do about it. That's the nature of the beast. And this is a job for me. I am doing this as a living. There we go. And final froggy. You do not get extra froggies in this set, unfortunately. There we go. All right. So there are all of our blossoms. The center of the blossoms feature Lego frog elements, an homage to the pink frogs used as blossoms in the Lego bonsai tree set. Is it really an homage if you would have used them anyway? Because I'm pretty sure they would have used them anyway. Alright, so how many spare, like how many empty slots do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. Okay. There's that one. There's that one. That one. Oh, actually, there's one all the way up here, too. Oh, wait, no. No, that's right. Never mind. Okay, so some of these do not want to stay in their position, but that's okay. So that's that comes off there. Get that back on there. Okay, next up. Miniature shields, originally developed for the 1995 LEGO Castle line, make up the sepals of the Orchid. Okay, 2 of these little vine elements put into brown 2x2 cylinder bricks. And they're just kind of like put in there. There we go. And orchids are often potted with mulch to allow airflow and drainage for healthy roots. Here, the mulch is built from claw elements from LEGO Nexo Night sets. Alright, so we've got 7 dark brown, 7 brown. That's 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 6. 1 by 2. Yep, there's 6. Okay. Can't really just, like, toss these in too much. Okay, yep. Grab the camera there, as you do. Just kind of fit them in wherever they can fit. There we go. And we have spare parts of a black pneumatic tee, get back here, a white fork, and a white half-bushing. An anonymous gifter has gifted Bahamut a Tier 1 sub. Aw, thank you. All right. So you're thinking last night, random topic, but there's this woman's hairstyle that every time you see it, person in question is evil hands down. Don't know what it's called, but if anyone has seen the classic Doctor Who episode Silver Nemesis or Fairy Tale Theater's version of Cinderella. I've definitely seen Silver Nemesis. I don't remember it, though. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of the classic Doctor Who that is available to be seen these days. All right, so there is the mulch in the pot. And here we have our orchid flowers, which are kind of difficult to actually see. I may pull over the other camera before we wrap it up. In fact, no. We'll do minifigs first. We'll go ahead and link it on the Discord, and I'll take a look. All right. So, minifig time. So we will be wrapping up a little bit early. Those did not take as long as I expected to build, and I don't... Actually, you know what? I have one thing that I can build that's really fast. Let's actually do that. Yeah, there we go. I forgot that I had this botanicals. Field flowers. So we'll do that. I keep meaning to start off a stream with these and then completely forgetting. Ooh, don't go on the floor, please. So 77 pieces here. Oh. There we go. Yep, nothing else in there. Alright, let's see. 3 of these. 2, 8, and 5 if someone remembers for you. Alright. Try to keep that in mind. There we go, then a 3L axle. One of these. I think this is a pneumatic element, because that is hollow all the way through, and I don't think there's any other, like, there's a little hole right there, but I don't think that connects up. So I think that the original use of this piece is to hold pneumatic lines in place. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not super picky on where things go. I mean, like, as long as you're making, best faith, good faith efforts kind of thing to, which, like, everyone does. It's fine. Like, I'm not too concerned. It's not a big deal. All right. So these, I think, are crown gears. Can they... They do not really... They don't really work at a 90-degree angle. I guess they... They might work this way, but I'm not sure what the point of rotating like this is, kind of thing. So I don't really know what these gears are useful for. There's some elements here so that they might be able to turn some things, but they're very weird. I mean, it's toothed, and it's specifically toothed in such a way that they do rotate by each other. And I know they've been referred to as gears. Something can definitely fit in here. So they could definitely turn something. I don't have any other gears to see how they'd work. Like, they might work with the other bevel gears. They don't work together. I miss the old crown gears, unfortunately, but oh well. Okay, so we have a sunflower element there. There's nothing to crank here, really. They might actually... I mean, they spin pretty well like this without any apparent real friction, so they might be something that was originally designed to work like that, but they should still be running up against something. And they don't actually have, like... They don't have a cross hole, a cross axle hole, so they can't actually turn an axle, short of whatever goes into this top part. So yeah, I don't know. May have to look to see what set they were in first and see if I can figure out how they were used. Just like out of curiosity. And there we go. And it's a dandelion. In case we needed something to eat with our salad. Alright, and then this one, pretty sure this is going to be like goldenrod or something. We got gold crowns, gold 1x1 cones. A dandelion. Actually, so it's from like the dandy part, the dand part, dande, is from tooth, dent. It's like lion's tooth. I think that's for the leaves. There we go. Then we have the Monkey Kid staff elements. There we go. So I think that's goldenrod, but I'm not positive. Okay, and then next up, sand green, beige 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, 1x1 brick with 5 studs. You figured it was the puffball for a main? No, I'm pretty sure it's the leaves. I think they're supposed to look like lion's teeth or something like that. Because they are kind of like this bladed thing. Alright, so we have beige 6-stem plants, and then we have lots of these clear 1x1 cylinder tiles with top pegs. And this is going to be the seed head of a dandelion. Yeah, it's interesting how some of them get, you know, like the names get changed over time. It's really fun to see how some of the, like, place names, you know, what they once were kind of thing. Especially in England. England is weird that way. I don't think that other places are quite the same way in how much the names changed. Trying to think of a good example. Like Hastings, for example. It's the people of Hast or something like that. Hasta. Because that's what the ing means. People of. So most English place names that have that end in an ing or have an ing near the end, like there might be, like Swinton. No, not Swinton. That literally means Pigtown. Like how they did the puffball there. That's pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah, I really like this one. From what you learned from Lost in the Pond, a lot of the divergence between American and British English was the French. I don't know about that because like native English, Anglo-Saxon English, Middle English, like Middle English is heavily influenced by French, but early modern English pulls back because of the like reassertion of the English identity over the French. And that had mostly happened by the time that, like America was discovered and started to be colonized. The big thing is that the great, so for some reason, and we're not exactly sure why, but there is the great vowel shift where, so there's a thing called the vowel space. It's this, like, you can picture it as like this kind of triangular area, and vowels fall within this area. And that's why you can go like yow kind of thing. You can smoothly move between all of them, any vowel within that. Whereas you can't do that with a consonant. You can't go from a K to an R that smoothly. It's a hard stopping sound. K, you can't move between that. But basically, like English at some point with the great vowel shift, like turned everything. But that shift started, America gets colonized, and it stops in America. And it keeps going in the UK. And that's why that accounts for a lot of the big differences between English and American English and British English, and why New Zealand and Australian English are more similar because they started colonization afterwards, after colonization of the US. Of the Americas. Like the reason taxi cabs are called cabs is because of cabriolet, a French word for to carry or transport. Yeah. No, French, the modern English language, about a third of it is French. About a third of it is it's actually less than that, but Norse, and the other third is native English, Anglo-Saxon. But specifically, the most common words used are straight up, are for the most part straight up English. All right. There's a few that are not, but very, very few. Like a, the, Then, when, how, all of those are English. There's like one or two that are French. All right, so spare parts. We got a beige 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, a clear 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg, and a yellow Technic half bushing. Not without a carrier vowel like cur. Yeah, well, not even that, but like, so vowels are a vowel space, and like, you could pronounce your A right here, and someone else will pronounce a vowel, their vowel A, just right here, like just a little teeny bit, and that's how dialects form. Is that you can like start shifting all the way over here, and eventually you're over here. Like, New Zealand, like modern New Zealand, has continued to shift so that their vowel space is like matching like Irish English or something, or Scottish English or something like that. But for different vowels. So like, again, like turning a crank kind of thing. Like one crank to that side. But you can't do that with consonants. There's a lot of consonants. There's a lot more consonants than you may realize, but each one is a point. And they can change their sounds. They can evolve over time, but it's usually just like a softening of it. But there's no consonant space. They're points in that, in the sound thing. And it's mostly because like think of how you form your mouth when you do a vowel. There's like it's all with kind of an open mouth. E, kind of thing. But then, say some consonants. K, you're forcing air against your teeth. L, your tongue is going up against the top of your mouth or your teeth, that kind of thing. So it is you can't easily shift the sounds that way. The way that sounds get shifted is by moving into another one for consonants. Specifically, like, you may hear some British dialects where Thursday, rather than having the soft th, it's actually Thursday with an f. Same thing with p. P can become f as well. All right, so those are the wildflowers. This was just a little poly bag that was released, probably still available in some places. But I think it was specifically a gift with purchase. But I know it's been in stores, some stores and things like that. But very cute. I like the puffball dandelion and the regular dandelion. So very, very cute. All right. Now, let's do some minifigs. All right, oh, I already pulled them out. All right, there we go. Let's get you. Grab my dice. Apparently English dialect in Shakespearean time would be closer to rural Maine as far as how English language is split. Yes. Yeah. Alright, D6 first, so that's a 4. So we're going into the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's get a D10. That's a 10, so I re-roll. That is a 7. 9, 8, and 7. Okay. Let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Go ahead and roll my D20. 9, so that is the construction worker, lady construction worker. Isavan got a 3 for Emmett. I don't know if there are any more Emmets left. Thursday is already very loose pronunciation of what... Well, Thor's Day is specifically the Norse version. There is a Germanic version, and the Germanic pronunciation is different. Like, the reason why Odin's Day, Wednesday, starts with a woo sound is because Continental Germanic was Woden rather than Odin. 8 for Bahamut. That would be, speaking of, William Shakespeare. Guess one is a Minotaur Orchid grower seller. And then, of course, you got things like Freya and Frigg, both of which have the same etymological origin for their names. A Leonin poetry reciter. All right, get your predictions in. What did Nadoroge I have? Let me see if I see his thing up there. 2, 8, and 5. All right, so 2. So he had President Business. So get your predictions in. Just a few seconds remaining. Let me get my timer out and ready. There we go. But they're etymologically the same. As like Freya and Frigg are etymologically from the same thing. And it's not uncommon for titles to become names. Plenty of Mesopotamian gods were just referred to as Bel, and all that means is Lord. And of course, Jupiter and Zeus are from Deus Pater, Sky Father, which is not exactly a name per se. All right. Oftentimes the question is what the people using the names understand it as. Do they understand it as a title, or do they understand it as a name? Same thing for Tyr. Tyr just means God. All right. And predictions are closed and go. I read a reason for that, and I don't remember what it is. Specifically Saturday. Okay. All right, 12.88. I do believe that we have the another Ms. Scratch and Post. So let's see if that is correct. Oh, actually, no. The reason is because the German names are Interpretatio Germanica. Like, the names for the days of the week are still Roman, even when we use them without Roman names. And that is indeed his Scratch and Post. So that was 12.88. Let's choose the outcome. Within 20 seconds, complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? Bahamut, Kinshir, and Gilded Tongue getting all the hams. Very nice. Ice Oven going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Lel Bunny going for no. So basically, like the Germans may have had names for the days of the week before, but there's different ways to interpret the week. Or, you know, track time and stuff like that. Spaced out on minifigs, that's okay. That's okay. But basically, the Romans named their, you know, like, Deus, what is it? Deus Marti is Tuesday. So the Germans were like, oh, well, that's our god Tyr, or Tew, hence Tuesday. And that's the other thing, is as Norse would be Tyrsdag. Okay, so that is Miss Scratch and Post. Next up, Series 13. Alright, D6 to pick our column. That is 1, so we are going over here. D20, because we still have lots and lots of minifigs left. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright, let's go ahead and start the prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Go ahead and roll my die. 9 for me, so that would be the carpenter. 2 for Isovan, that would be the sheriff. 6 for Bahamut, that would be the paleontologist. 8 for Nadarogei, that would be the Egyptian warrior. So go ahead and get your predictions in. So that's why Saturday is Saturday, Saturn's Day, because the Germans didn't have a god for that day. Second guess is a Minotaur social graces teacher. First, you don't act like a bull in a china shop. Rrr. Unless you see red. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Leonin language studier. I love language. Language is so fascinating to me. All right, 30 seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. I don't find them as interesting. No offense to anyone who is interested in that. Because I like etymology specifically, and yeah, I don't get that quite so much. Well, you could create it. Couldn't tell. Yeah, I know. I hide it well. All right, predictions are closed. Let's go ahead and go. All right, what do we have? What do we have? That's legs. That's a torso. That's the base. That's the head. Good lord. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, all right. 17.9. My die was correct. Number 9. Number 9. We have the carpenter. Brass dragons are chaotic neutral with good tendencies, or chaotic good with neutral tendencies. I am most definitely not that. Most definitely not that. All right, that is indeed the carpenter. All right, I like it when my die is correct. All right, that's 17.9. What's my alignment? I would peg myself closer to neutral good with lawful tendencies or lawful good with neutral tendencies. Okay, that is not the right option. Choose the outcome within 20 seconds. Complete the prediction. And who is getting the hams? Bahamut, Kinshir, Minunlike, and Gilded Tongue getting all the hams. Very nice. Lord Canis Isovan going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Lel Bunny going for no. Still having absolutely no confidence in me whatsoever. Ald says naughty things in Daggerfall. He's definitely evil. Hey, it's not my fault that I speak the truth. Speak the truth. Definitely speak the truth. Pawn shops in Daggerfall are definitely better than bookshops. You're neutral good with chaotic tendencies, or when someone hits the anger button, you switch to a chaotic evil in a heartbeat? All right. We've got a carpenter here. I really like the saw. The fact that it is dual molded is probably why they haven't put it into too many sets. But that's a really cool tool. And nice board print. Good tool belt printing on the waist. And a hat with hair, which is always nice. And there goes the board. You lie, you lie, you lie. I don't know. I feel like someone else might be a little chaotic there too, little bunny. All right, I did mark off that one. Okay. And finally, we've got Series 27. Let me switch on over to the scale sheet. All right, let's see. I can do a D8 with these. D6 to pick the row, so 3. So we're going to the top. D8 is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get my scale out as well. And start the prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Get your predictions in. Comes with a cup of a carpenter. Excited to talk to Namira in tonight's episode of Daggerfall? Always. Always. It's always fun to talk to Daedra. All right, Isovan got a 4. That would be the Astronomy Kid. 6 for Bahamut. That would be the Pteranodon fan. Is it sad that you know what each Daedra Prince has for their domains? No. That means that you're a fan of something. That's fine. Let's see. 2, 8, 5. 5 was what Nadaroge I had. That was the plushie fan. Last guess is a Minotaur Obstetrician. Oh, man. Ooh. A Leonin Carpenter. Oh, yeah, I need a D12. A Minotaur Obstetrician. All right. What happens when they see red? Go ahead and get your predictions in. Now, let me go ahead and get my scanner up and ready. Oh, Iagra, that's just something that some of them like to do, some people like to do of not real guesses. You know, like, there's definitely going to be a Minotaur Obstetrician in here is the idea. This all spawned because Lel Bunny kept telling me to get the set with the Minotaurs in him, and it's kind of buried, so I haven't been. Like there's multiple sets on top of it right now. I could move them. I could. But where's the fun in that? All right, predictions are closed. So, let me go ahead and do a shake. All right, there's definitely some small parts. I feel like I hear a big part. So I'm going to say it's the Boogeyman. You'll guess an Orcish Patissier? All right, let's roll the die. So I'm saying the Boogeyman. That is number 8. So I will re-roll if there's an 8, just so that we get more variety. That is 10. So the die is predicting the Pirate Quartermaster. All right. And now, what does the weight say? Definitely not the Boogeyman. 17.09. Okay, I was thinking that it might be the Cupid, and I almost went with that. But I decided to go for something that we hadn't done yet. 17.09 is definitely closest to that. There really isn't anything else that it could be with that weight. That would be really lowballing the Jetpack Racer. So I'm saying the weight is Cupid. So what do we got? That is indeed Cupid. All right. And that is indeed Cupid. All right, let's choose the outcome. So that is a yes with weight. Complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? Lord Canis, Ice Oven, and Minion-like getting all the hams. Very nice. Bahamut and Shield of Hope going for yes with guess. Kinshear going for yes with die roll. And Lel Bunny going for no. Having no faith in me whatsoever. So mean. So mean. Do that. All right. Get the bracket on there. Get the love eyes. Get the hair. And the wings on the back. I deserve no faith. I deserve all the faith. I deserve a massive amount of faith. Like worship. Actual worship. I am that awesome. It's true. There we go. And he can hold a heart as well. And we get a spare piece of a red 1x1 heart tile. I do like the red bow. There's a little Cupid. Oh, and he's got a guy and a girl. He's got a guy and a girl there. Let's make them fall in love. All right. That is going to bring us to a close tonight. We will be back on Friday to continue the Sanctum Sanctorum. We'll be back on Saturday for some more Spelljammer. We will be back on Monday for more Dragon Quest III HD 2D. Next Wednesday, I think that we'll finish up the Sanctum Sanctorum. Because I will not be doing a Friday stream, and rather than wait 2 weeks, I kind of would rather end it, and then the next week I can start new stuff. So next Wednesday we will be building the Sanctum Sanctorum. We'll finishing that up after a Friday stream. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out. Let's go ahead and see if there's anyone to raid. You're very welcome, Iagra. Let's go ahead and see if there is anyone on right now. Oh, Hungry Goria is having a birthday stream. Let's go raid her and say happy birthday. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out, and I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.